we did the vents and valleys upgrade. We're probably adding 5 to 10 years onto the roof. So as you can see here, this valley is worn out. There is some delamination on this face because of the sun, but the rest of the roof is in pretty good condition. So this attic space is quite big, and I would say that the ventilation isn't quite adequate. I would add a turbo vent because those are passive vents, where you kind of have to just wait for the hot air to accumulate and make its way out of the holes. Whereas with a turbo vent, it actually creates this high-low pressure where it actually pulls the hot air out of the attic space. So it cools down the attic, and if you have an air conditioner, it'll probably decrease the amount it gets turned on. So with the vents and valleys upgrade, what we would do is we would just remove a portion of these shingles. Obviously in this area here, this is a closed cut valley, which is good, but still over time it gets worn out. Ideally, you want to put in a metal valley, which is pretty much just a metal tray underneath, and then you have the section cut out. So it lasts longer, right? Because metal's not going to wash away like these granules will. And we would also replace this because this is starting to delaminate due to the exposure to the sun. So as you can see over there, that's exactly what we've done.
So we took that roof. Now it's hard to see in the video, but we took off those shingles and we replaced it with a metal valley. So now that's why you can see there's a slight change in the color. But again, same thing. You don't have to replace this whole roof. This roof here, they did the whole roof because again, it was just a valley that was worn out. So we added that turbo vent, that big round bulb on the top right there, that gray thing. And then we replaced the metal valley and redid the shingling. That way, what we can do is add a bunch of time and life to the roof, right? And so if you're wanting to get yourself a vent and valleys upgrade, Terwilliger is a hugely common place for it because all the roofs were underventilated. They were put up really quick. As you can see from our last video, they don't do the downspout extensions and they didn't put metal valleys in, but yet these houses have a huge propensity to wear out only in the valleys years and years and years before the shingles are actually worn out. So Beth and I are out here doing estimates. I'm showing Beth the ropes on how to actually kind of talk a little bit more about what the things are that she sees when she's out doing these roofs after years and years of being a shingler, being a laborer, being a foreman, and running the repair truck. She needs to take some time to actually show people what she's running into, because the hardest part about doing this job is sometimes showing people how we can help them save money, how we can help their roofs last longer, how we can extend the life of their roof and ultimately put more money in their pockets and do quality work all at the same time by coming up with creative solutions such as our vents and valleys upgrade. Anything else to say, Beth?
You guys are awesome.
Right on.